Yeah.
Yep.
Respected seniors, friends, and all dear participants, I welcome all the delegates of this signature event on charitable trust. I also welcome two associations, Computer Society of India and Helpage India, for joining hands with BCAS. It is my privilege and honor to welcome Dr. Prakash Ji Amte on BCAS virtual platform today. I also acknowledge the presence of Shri Narendra Ji Mestri from Mumbai, a long-time associate of Amte family and volunteer. Because of him, I could connect with Dr. Prakash Ji. I also acknowledge the virtual presence of Mrs. Sonali Kulkarni. She will be joining in some time. Renowned, multifaceted Marathi personality. She played the role of Dr. Mandakini Amte, wife of Prakash Ji, in well-known Marathi film Dr. Prakash Baba Amte, The Real Hero. So namaskar to all of you and thank you for your presence. As a president of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society for the year 2021, let me briefly introduce BCAS to all of you. There are many non-members for them and all the dignitaries I will introduce for you. It is a voluntary body, a charitable institute by itself of chartered accountants with 9,000 plus members all over and 40,000 plus social media followers on various platforms. We are in our 72nd year and moving to 75th, a diamond jubilee, a benchmark year in next 3 years. BCAS is known for its ethical, governance and quality benchmarks. The theme for 2021 is tradition, transition and transformation. With our traditional foundation such as handholding by the seniors, we would follow the process of change, the transition which is required today. And with the technology and our tech savvy youth force, we would move to a digital transformation. In the last 5 months or so, we have already portrayed our adaptability to the change, and it gives us reasonable level of future visibility as far as BCAS is concerned. Coming to this charitable trust workshop, this is like a signature event and most sought after program of BCAS. This is because it covers everything in a charitable trust domain. It is designed in such a manner that it is relevant not only for the professionals, but also for the trustees, office bearers, and staff members of the trust. With this positive note and background, I would introduce Dr. Prakash Ji Amte, today's keynote speaker. Prakash Ji, last few days, the question which was bothering me, who am I to introduce you? Because you are not only national, but you are an international personality. So I tried to convince myself that I am a president of this society for the year 2021. And that gave me a power to make an attempt to introduce you to the people. Amte family, a social responsibility family. His father and mother, late Baba Amte and his wife, they were the social responsibility people. Dr. Prakash himself and his wife, Dr. Mandakini, and all their 3 children, all are social activists full time. He's an MBBS. He's an MBBS from Nagpur University of 1971. Formerly surgical registrar at Medical College, Sevagram, Wardha. Medical director since 1974 of Lok Biradari Prakalpa, Hemalkasa, of Maharogi Seva Samiti, Varora. They are engaged in the activity of health, education, agriculture, and awareness under IRD pattern. Director of Amte's Animal Ark. It is a wildlife orphanage cum rescue center, Hemalkasa. He is a trustee member of many other social organizations. Now I will talk about his awards. He has got almost 65 awards, not only nationally but internationally. However, I will quote 5 or 6 major. Adivasi Sevak Award, Government of Maharashtra 1984. Padma Shri, Government of India 2002. Indian Merchant Chambers Award 2005. Ramon Magsaysay Award, it's an international award for community leadership, 2008. Panna Dhai Award, a national award, 2012. A very different kind of a recognition which has he got. His postal stamp was issued by state of Monaco near France to honor Dr. Prakashji and his wife Mandakini ji. Many other awards in the state of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and also UAE and Hong Kong have been boasted about him. Movies, biopics, and episodes. I suggest all of you, if you have already not, go to the YouTube and type Dr. Prakash Amte, and you will get n number of videos, inspiring videos which you can see. A Marathi movie on his life story by the name Dr. Prakash Baba Amte, the real hero, was made and won Marathi Film Fare Awards. In this movie, Ms. Sonali Kulkarni, which I mentioned earlier, who is supposed to be virtually there today, she played a role of Dr. Mandakini Amte, Dr. Saheb's wife. There are many books, publications on his life story, which is already there. So his biodata is too long to share with you. It's a 10-page biodata. However, due to the time, Prakashji, with your kind permission, I truncated it to the extent possible. With these remarks, I welcome you, and to inform all the participants, there are 181 participants from different almost 12 to 13 different states and different cities. So I welcome all of you and thank you for your response. With this, I give it to Dr. Prakash Amte for his keynote address. Thank you.
धन्यवाद मिस्टर सुहास एंड आज के ये प्रोग्राम में जितने सारे सम्मानीय सीए और बाकी लोग उपस्थित है, सभी को मैं पहले नमस्कार करता हूँ। चैरिटेबल संस्था जो बाबा ने स्टार्ट किया था, और आज का आपका विषय भी वो था इस वेबिनार का, वो ही है चैरिटेबल इंस्टीट्यूशन के बारे में। 1949 मैन, बाबा आमटे सभी को जानते हैं। थोड़ा सा इतिहास में जाए तो he was the son of a landlord and a lawyer, taking inspiration from Gandhi. महात्मा गांधी सेवाग्राम में रहते थे. So he left his practice in law, and then he saw a leprosy patient by the side of road, and then with compassion he started. He decided to start work for the leprosy patient of India. So in 1949, that time probably the government of C.P. and Berar gave him a reserve forest land, 50 acres of land in Chandrapur district, where he started this institution against the wishes of his parents, his friends, with just 14 rupees in his pocket, 6 leprosy patients, young wife, and we 2 children, Vikas and myself. And I will see the determination against wishes of everybody, because there are a lot of prejudice about leprosy during that time. लोग समझते थे this is contagious है, ऐसा है वैसा है, he is taking risk of his wife and children and this. But he named it as Maharogi Seva Samiti. That was registered in 49. अभी तो 71 साल तो पूरे हो गए, और धीरे धीरे the first chartered accountant, because it was a charitable institution, was from Nagpur, a senior man, W.G. Ambekar. His firm was there, and he was almost, I think, probably of the same age of Baba. So for many years, he was doing the audit for Maharogi Seva Samiti. But as the time passed, people came to know the importance of Baba's work, and a lot of people started visiting. Maybe, but after 10 years, it required a lot of patience for him to continue this work against the wishes of everybody. Or he being himself a lawyer, he knew many of the laws and all these things. That was an advantage. But without help of a chartered accountant, we couldn't go further. So, जब भी जरूरत पड़े तो W.G. Ambekar used to help him from Nagpur, and his basic principle was transparency. आज के जमाने में शायद ही इतना स्ट्रिक्टली कोई मतलब उसका पालन करता होगा, बट बिफोर गोइंग टू बेड एवरी डे, हाँ, बिफोर गोइंग टू बेड जितना पैसा आया, जितना पैसा खर्चा किया, उसका हिसाब ही यूज्ड टू टैली एवरी नाइट बिफोर गोइंग टू बेड. कभी देखा नहीं ऐसा, मतलब नोबडी प्रोबब्ली डज दिस थिंग. पर्सनली ही यूज्ड टू टेक हिज इंटरेस्ट. उसका कोई अकाउंटेंट नहीं थे उनके पास, अकाउंटेंट नहीं थे. Ex-leprosy patient was looking after the account, but in the night, I mean, if there is some पता नहीं कोई थोड़ी सी किसी की गलती हो गई, he couldn't sleep in the night. You know, that type of a man, and his principle was the motto, you can say, work with the people, not for the people. Whatever work he started in Anandvan, so he was the first person to start the work, and then the leprosy person used to gather and then carry on the work. So work with the people. तो उसमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बहुत वेरी इजी, बिकॉज बाबा खुद जाके काम करता है तो बाकी लोगों को शर्म आती थी, ये अपने पहले आके वो काम शुरू कर रहे हैं. So that way he developed Anandvan as a family. He was the family head of the Anandvan. We both, his sons had no ambition. It was more or less we lived in isolation in our childhood. Not many friends, had education in municipal school, Marathi medium. Absolutely no ambition what to do in future. But once Baba's reputation established, a lot of people started visiting. Like Pula Deshpande, I mean, a lot of people know about him. Some of the politicians and others, everybody started visiting and appreciating Baba's work. Then we both decided to join Baba's work, and preferably if we can get an admission in Medical College Nagpur, we can do our graduation in Nagpur and then join Baba's work. Fortunately, during that time in 1966, we got a walk-in admission in Nagpur Medical College. There was not much of a competition. We both were in the same class. We both got the admission in Nagpur Medical College. We passed every exam. And in 1970, after the final MBBS exam, waiting for the results in Anandvan, Baba said, come for a picnic to this place, you know, Hemalkasa. That time, of course, it was known as Bhamragad. The area is known as Bhamragad, which is 250 kilometers from Anandvan. But it took us 3 days to reach this place in a 4-wheel jeep, because there were a lot of rivers, nalas in between. So without any road, December 70, we reached Bhamragad. There is a confluence of 3 rivers, beautiful sight, very good nature. Next day, Baba said, since we have come such a long distance, let us go and see the area. So he took us to the first village. And as soon as the vehicle reached the village, all the tribals, we didn't know that tribals live in this area. Later on, we came to know that they are known as Madia tribe, one of the most primitive tribe of India. And all of them came out of their huts and they were all scared. Who these people have come? With a lot of clothes, sweaters, shawl, because it was the month of December, quite cool. And they all were naked, except loincloth, no cloth on their body. We wanted to have some dialogue with them. All of them ran away in the forest. It was quite strange experience for both of us. We went to another village, then to another village. We couldn't communicate with anybody. And in the evening, we sat around the fire and were just thinking over the whole day's impression. And then Baba said suddenly, now that we both almost have become a doctor, MBBS, and you already had decided to join Anandvan, I think that we should do something for this tribe, bring them to the mainstream. Though since I am not a doctor, I cannot start a hospital for them, but I can teach them farming, give them vocational training, etc. And suddenly I realized the intention of Baba's picnic. And next moment I said, Baba, if you start a work for this tribe, I will join. I will continue this work. And Baba was so happy that without asking his son, he has offered his services. And then that way, you know, that was turning point in my life. Went back, our results were out, internship started. we requested the government of Maharashtra to give us a land in this area. As everybody knows, government bureaucracy takes a lot of time. That has also helped me to get married, because if they had promptly given us a land, I would have been bachelor by this time. Nobody would ever dare to marry me in this remote place, where remote in the sense that completely locked down. There's a lot of rivers in between, nalas, no roads. Once the monsoon started, 6 months you couldn't see a civilized man. Nobody talked. So at such a place, probably no parent would have sent a daughter to get married to me. So that way, I was lucky. Government of Maharashtra took their own time. Then I was introduced to Mandakini during my post-graduation, and then it was a love marriage. She also committed that I will join your work. Against wishes of her parents, I naturally would gladly give permission anyway, but she gave us a word and she kept her word. And in 1973, government of Maharashtra gave us a land, and Baba named it as Lok Biradari Prakalp Hemalkas, People's Brotherhood. And we started with a small hut and a clinic underneath a tree, expecting patients to come for the OPD. Since they had never seen a modern medicine, nobody came. It was quite frustrating. It was quite testing our patience. But somehow we learned their language, which is very difficult, different and difficult. But we learned the language. We tried to establish communication with them, learned about their culture, customs, everything. And then finally, we could gain their confidence. And then patients started coming from almost 150 kilometers distance. It's a very, very thick and big forest of Maharashtra. No communication, no roads. They used to either walk down to the hospital or bring the patient on a cot, carry them on shoulder. So that way, after they started coming to the hospital, we had actually no plans to develop this project, except that hospital, we both were doctors. But since we saw the condition of the people, there was a lot of exploitation there. There was no education at all. They didn't know the farming. So with the help of my colleagues, with the inspiration of Babas, I had 5-6 colleagues from the cities. Vilas Manohar, Gopal Pandit, a lot of people know them, because they were since beginning, they were helping us in this project. So we decided to start a school in 1976, and then teach them farming, teach them fight against exploitation and other things. So gradually the project started expanding. I always tell people that nothing was planned initially, except because since we both were doctors, to start a clinic and later on a hospital. But it started expanding with the demand of the people, with the need of the people, and given an opportunity for this tribal student of education. The first student, 76 batch, he became doctor, not only doctor, he became postgraduate doctor, MD Gynec. And after completion of education, he came back to Gadchiroli district, serving his own brother and sisters, It was great inspiration for all the tribal people. A boy whose parents had no food to eat, proper food to eat, no clothes to wear. But he has become much more educated than both of us, MD Gynec. And there was a lot of awareness about education, awareness about the rights, one after another. It started with health, and then there was awareness about health, then about education. A lot of people, students have become now doctors, lawyers, engineers. Many of them have become teachers. The beauty of this, this education project is that 80%, almost 80% of the boys, educated boys, have come back to the district to serve their own tribe. So that's a very nice thing. After taking education in the cities, there are a lot of attraction in the cities, but in spite of that, 80% of the boys and girls have come back. They are serving their own brother and sisters. And our own sons and daughters, they were educated with this tribal Marathi medium school. There was some problem in their education afterwards, since they had no reservation and other things. But somehow elder son has become doctor. He himself decided to join the project in 1998. And the younger one has a polytechnic diploma. He's from Pune. He also came back, and he is looking after the school. fortunate. We are both are fortunate that our daughter-in-laws, both are from cities. Elder daughter-in-law is from Goa and she is a gynecologist. Younger one is from Pune and she is MA Economics. So elder son and daughter-in-law, they are looking after the 50-bedded modern hospital, which they have constructed on the eve of Baba's birth centenary, 2014. Younger one, Samiksha and Aniket, they are looking after the school project. They have started another 2 more schools in the remote area on the demand of the local tribal people. A lot of awareness about the education, about their rights. So both the daughter-in-law are completely involved in their work. In spite of living in a big cities like Goa and Pune, they have adopted this like the culture of this project and continuing the work. Third generation of Amtes. So we are really quite fortunate enough to have got good daughter-in-laws, and the work is expanding with the modernization. Yes, for 22 years there was no electricity. Now the electricity is there, the telephone is there, all these things. So this way, we are really thankful for Chartered Accountant Association to invite us for this keynote address. Little bit about my animal arc. Since all these animals were eaten by these tribals since ages. It started from a monkey baby of the monkey, the mother was killed, and we requested the tribal people not to kill the young ones. And one after another, they started bringing the animals. And in my family, more than 100 wild animals. They live with me as member of my family. Includes leopard, bears, hyena, crocodiles, different kind of deers, porcupines, and but they're all been saved. They were orphaned. And the good thing about this orphan is that the tribal started loving the animals instead of eating them. And hunting is almost stopped now. They are doing farming. They are getting the employment after the education. So after 47 years, it's a great satisfaction for both of us that working in this remote area, the work has been recognized, getting a lot of love from the people from around the world. And again, I thank all Mr. Paranspe for inviting us for this keynote address. With my all the best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sahib, for sharing your experience. Chetan Bhai, you can please.
Thank you, Dr. Sahib. I think this is a very unique and very inspiring story. और अगर आपके जीवन पर कोई बायोपिक बनता है तो जरूर आपने जीवन में कुछ ऐसा किया होगा जिससे कई लोगों का हृदय परिवर्तन हुआ होगा और समाज का उद्धार हुआ होगा। और उस फिल्म को सर फिल्म फेयर का बेस्ट फिल्म अवार्ड, बेस्ट एक्टर अवार्ड और बेस्ट एक्ट्रेस अवार्ड मिला, तो वो श्रेय केवल आपका डॉक्टर प्रकाश आमटे का ही है। आपने एक समाज के पूरे वर्ग का उत्थान किया और उन्हें एक नई दिशा दी। हम सब आपको हृदय से धन्यवाद देते हैं और ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि आपको इस मार्ग में और सफलता मिले और हमें आप इसी प्रकार प्रेरणा देते रहे। धन्यवाद सर, आपका हमारा आमंत्रण स्वीकारने के लिए सर। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग सर। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू सर। Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next session, who we are all eagerly awaiting, President Suhas Paranjape, respected Honorable Commissioner Exemptions, Mr. Anurag Sahai, past President BCS, Mr. Gautam Nayak, who is one of the panelists, my colleague and moderator of the session, Mr. Gautam Shah, coordinator Gaurav Save, my other coordinators, Bhavesh, Gunja, past President, seniors, and friends. When I and Gautam Shah were planning the seminar, we both agreed on one thing, that we need to increase the spectrum of this seminar by introducing some very important subjects that NGOs face on a day-to-day basis. Undoubtedly, the issues under direct tax and indirect tax do hound the NGOs. But how to make an NGO self-sustainable has always been a challenge. NGOs are dependent on donations which are not very easy to garner. Therefore, we have a session on art of fundraising. What will be the feasibility and impact of social stock exchange on NGOs? How it can benefit from being listed on the SSE? We have a separate session immediately after this session. And last but not the least, the foreign donation and the FICRA issues. The advantage of going virtual is that now we have the best of faculties and more participants from across India are joining us. We are indeed fortunate to have a galaxy of expert speakers in this 3-day seminar. As rightly pointed out by the president, that we have more than 180 participants and 50% I believe are representatives of the NGOs. Coming to this first session, section 11, 12 and 13. Though only 3 substantive sections for charitable trust, but it requires extreme skills to interpret the sections. Over the years, we have seen various litigation on what defines charity. In fact, last few years we have witnessed to various amendments which have very far-reaching consequences, especially the re-registration under section 12AB, obligation to file tax return within the due dates, taxation of unrealized capital appreciation under section 115 TD, and many more. Now with the faceless assessments, we are entering a new phase of interacting with the department. We are indeed fortunate to have the Commissioner Exemptions to share his thoughts on the important developments, followed by a panel discussion. May I request Gaurav to formally introduce today's speaker, panelist and moderator. And I wish each and every one of you happy learning. Thank you so much.